Hey, what's going on? It's TNS Time and Space with the manager of Eric Biddens, T Green. What's good?
What it do, what it do, what it do?
This right here is On the Move, Soul Central TV, Soul Central Magazine. So tell me, people always want to be on stage. Tell me about the experience of being a manager.
I mean, being a manager, it got its ups and downs, but one thing I can say is being a manager, you must be loyal and really believe in your artist, like 1,000%. I mean, you got to be really to, I guess, ready to turn your whole life around. I mean, and devote nothing but 100% to it. You know, being a manager ain't easy as it seems. You know, I mean, you think you can find a talented artist, but you managing an artist's life and make sure that person stay focused. You know, I mean, I guess I was just blessed that I had Eric Biddens, and now I got other artists on the label now, and, you know, like 40 and Blaine. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, for all the up-and-coming managers, I would say build with your artist, you know what I'm saying? And find somebody who believe in you and work together, you know, as a team and do it, you know. Okay. If I had to give any advice.
Definitely. Now, tell me how you linked up with Eric Biddens.
Actually, it was late 2008. I had a magazine I started in 2006 called Who's Next.Biz magazine, and I was going around interviewing a lot of artists, and I knew of Eric from the Two Slab days. And, but, you know, interviewing all these artists, there was something about him when I had reached out. Him and Swaggy Smooth was actually the first two artists to actually send their emails back, like right then and there, with interview questions and answers. So when I actually met up with him and really was sitting down talking with him, I just saw something in him that I ain't seen in others. And I just wanted to basically just take over and help him get to where he wanted to be. And like, even though at the time, I was still an artist, so it was weird at first because it was like you got one rapper ready to give everything up to help another rapper, and then finally it's just like, I just said, you know what, hang up this mic and I'm a full-time manager, and I'd rather you get to your dreams. Shout out to that motorcycle, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Now I want to talk about that too. First part of the question is, what did you see in Eric? Because you know there's a million rappers in Palm Beach, million rappers everywhere. So actually, first let's talk about that. What did you see in Eric that separated him to make you be willing to hang up that mic?
I probably say, you know, a lot of people say creativity all the time, but they use that word loosely, I think. But I really saw creativity. I saw something that I didn't see in others. And I'm a fan of music. I listen to everything. Like, my iPod's so fucked up. Like, you don't want to be in the car with me because I listen to everything. Yeah. So, but when I was listening to his music, it just put me in a different space. So, like, if I felt happy about it and I see where it's going, you know, even still to this day, it's funny you ask that because I go back and listen to his old stuff and be like, bro, if the people would have heard this, how I heard it. And there's songs out there that when, you know, later on people gonna catch on and probably this interview gonna make people go back and listen. When they go back and listen to his older stuff, and then they hear the new stuff, then they gonna understand even more. Because what he was doing now, he was doing back then. It's just that, as we know, as upcoming artists, people don't really hear those first few projects, but those be those jewels. You know, but to answer your question, I saw creativity. And I knew he was talented already. Anybody can be talented if you devote your life to it. But being a creative artist, a unique artist, you can't make that shit up. Like, you can't make it up.
Definitely. Now I want you to talk about too, you mentioned being willing to hang up the mic and, you know, help someone else. People are very self-centered, especially artists. So talk about the different roles you can play in the music industry. For example, if you don't make it yourself, talk about that experience, because nobody ever talks about that. Everybody, like I said,
nobody really want to talk about it. I mean, that's a button that very seldom people want to push. But with me, I always knew deep down inside I was willing to wear 5 hats. I was the CEO, I was the writer, I was the producer at one point. I was, and I'm not saying I was that for Eric. I'm saying in general. So it was just like when me and him start working, it was easier for me to kind of step back and say, you know, I could be an artist, but how far would I go? I know how far I can go, but I know how far I want to go in life with this music stuff. So it's like I'm living my dream through him per se, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm still doing music because I could produce, I songwrite, I do other stuff that's involving music. So I never gave it up, so it was still like, okay, if I'm not rapping, I could get these hooks to another artist, and they could live out my dream through my words and vision. So it's one hand wash the other, but I would say you can't be selfish.
Right,
If you be selfish, you ain't gonna get far in life. I mean, everybody screaming this, they want to be the CEO stuff.
Right.
And that's cool and all. But being the CEO is more than just saying you're a CEO. You really putting the pressure on yourself to make sure the people below you actually come up.
Right.
True CEOs make sure the people below them come up.
Right.
And you can't be selfish. So if that means you reaching out to somebody else to get that video done, putting your projects out, that means you getting other people in place to manage that artist to get them to, or if that means you cohesively working with another person, partnering up to make sure that company grows.
Right.
You can't be selfish because why try to get 100% of zero?
Of course, definitely. A lot of people getting 100% of zero.
Right.
You're right. Now, Sam, I'm glad you mentioned the hooks also. Tell me how you feel about ghostwriting, especially in the midst of, this whole
it's
Meek
funny.
Mill Drake situation.
That Meek Mill Drake stuff is funny.
Yeah.
But like I was telling Eric the other day, only thing that changes, Drake just can't say he's the greatest rapper alive, like putting you in those Tupac, Jay-Z categories and Biggie's and stuff.
Right.
But there's nothing wrong with this man working with, they want to call it a ghostwriter, but it's basically a songwriter.
Right.
Ain't nothing ghost about it.
Right.
Only thing ghost about it is this person not being constantly mentioned, saying that this is person, what is it, Quentin Morris, Quentin,
Right.
whatever, QN he go by.
Right.
He's working with me, but I don't know all the details, but at the end of the day, I have no problem. I submit hooks to my artist all day.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But I do understand if somebody going in and writing your whole 16,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, now you coming out saying that I'm the greatest rapper.
Exactly. Right. Right.
You can't do that because if Jay-Z came up right now and you find out somebody else been writing his rap,
Oh, yeah.
you crush.
Of course.
You crush.
Yeah.
So he's the great entertainer now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I still got love for Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Drake is Drake. I'm saying every song he writes, somebody else writing it. That's whatever.
Right,
The
of course.
greats do it. Beyonce work with other greats. She work with Neo, The Dream.
Right.
You name it. I mean, no. See, the thing is, only time that matters is to the true core hip hop people. And,
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? In the bloggy world. But
Right.
you go ask Joe Blow up the street over here, they don't give a damn who's working in the studio with Drake. All they want to
Right.
do is 10 bands, 100 bands. They want to sing the song.
Exactly. Right.
But, people in the music industry, like myself and stuff, we look at it like, oh, okay.
Right.
Still cool, Drake.
Okay.
But you not Kendrick and Jay-Z's and
Right, right.
Eminem's.
Definitely, definitely. Now, tell me about the branching out from Eric Biddens, the solo artist, to Golden Rules. How did that come about?
That came about by actually networking and not being afraid to network. When the producers hit you up and say, hey, I'm just giving this out to artists.
Right.
This is how it happens.
Right.
And this is how it happened for. Don't be afraid to network. Submit the songs.
Right.
See where it could go. It could land you in a situation like us where now another manager hear it and they take it to somebody else and then all of
Right.
a sudden you getting flyed across the world to
Right.
put out an album
Right.
within a year. So, don't never let your creativity limit you. And if you love music, it don't matter if they playing it in London, West Palm Beach, or on this corner.
Right.
Be happy that your music is being heard.
Exactly.
So that's how that happened. I'm not finna sit here and say it was some magical stuff of we was on the blog site and everything happened.
Right.
No, it was us networking and we kept networking until the point where now we decided start off with one song, then it became 2 songs, then
Right.
3. Oh, let's do an EP. Then now all of a sudden we got so many songs. He was about 20-something songs in. I might as well do an album.
Right, right.
Get something back. And so shout out to Lex Records.
Okay.
They're one of the biggest independent labels over there in the UK. So, I mean, they put out MF Doom. You name it. They put out the Bernard Barkley with CeeLo and them. Think I'm crazy.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Shout out to Lex Records, man.
Definitely. Now, last thing I'm going to wrap up with is if I'm an artist amongst the millions of other artists, how do I get T Green's attention as a manager? How do I get your attention?
I'm not really one of those people who sit back and try to put on this big old front. Because truthfully, I'd rather listen to your stuff. Because what if you that diamond in the rough?
Right.
So my email and my contacts on all my social stuff. So I'm not hiding and stuff.
Right. Right.
But how to get my attention is really, I wouldn't even sit here and say, go put out all these seasons. You get my attention if I stumbled across your stuff and you handed me your music and I listen to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I don't go out here and give artists money for CDs and stuff, but if I'm in an event and I'm there with you, I'm liable to listen to your music because you never know.
Right.
And my emails and my contact info always out there. So, But to get my attention ain't hard because I was that artist too. So I think coming from an artist background and knowing how hard it is to network with people and get people to hear you, I learned early on not to have a cold shoulder. Because Tony Cutrone, who was my original manager before he was my business partner, he met me at a gas station with an unmixed CD with an ugly ass cover that we just put together for $60. And this was 12, almost 13 years ago. So for me to sit here and say an artist got to come with a whole full package, to be a lot. Because none of my artists that I got on my label now came with a full package. I either met them when it was nothing and now they turned into something, or they were just somebody who had a big dream and I believed in what they was doing and was willing to help. So,
no doubt. Well, I appreciate your time. Once again, this is TNS with T Green, manager of Eric Biddens.
Appreciate you catching me out here, man. You don't do this too often, but
I appreciate it.
Man, I support you. You've been doing this for a while.
I
came to my
appreciate
studio years ago to look for the clip.
I still got the audio. I still got the audio. Definitely.
This definitely love, baby.
On the Move, Soul Central TV, Soul Central Magazine. It's TNS. No doubt. All right.